What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka All Fighters, and totally out of nowhere, we got an official teaser, if you can even call it that. We got 8 seconds of footage teasing the Spider-Man costume. There is a specific reason that Sony and Marvel have chosen to upload this today. There's 2 of them. We'll talk about what that is. We'll then also issue a spoiler warning because to coincide with this official post, there are some new major set leaks in the last 24 hours because they're filming a lot of this initial sequence outside, and it confirmed a brand new villain group because we can now see their symbol clearly on the side of an armored vehicle. We're breaking it all down. The official post and newest leak for Spider-Man Brand New Day, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. Thanks to everyone who's been subbing lately and helped grow the channel, and in fact, we'll announce a brand new PS5 winner for Eyes of Wakanda in the next video. That would have gone live this morning, but we had to postpone it to do this one. So again, if you haven't already, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. That automatically enters you for all the giveaways. Stick around to the end of the video, we get into the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so the reason that Marvel Studios and Sony and Surface Level are posting this today is because they're celebrating that they're beginning filming on Spider-Man Brand New Day. So we get this quick teaser that is I guess, first official look at the new Spider-Man costume, probably resembling exactly what we saw or something close to the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. However, on a secondary level, and because they start filming today, and a lot of this initial sequence is apparently taking place outside, in the last 24 hours, if you go on Twitter and search for Spider-Man right now, you are going to see a ton of behind-the-scenes set photos and footage, including one we're about to talk about. So, by Marvel Studios and Sony releasing this, they're going to cover a lot of that up and do some damage control, pun totally intended. The first look at the costume will most likely lead to this video for a while because it'll reach way up there in SEO. It's still trending right now. That is to say, they're filming outside, and most likely, even with stunt double sit-ins, we're going to start to see some of the actual Spider-Man costume in these sequences. So Marvel Studios and Sony go ahead and get a little ahead of that and actually release a first official look, if you can even call it that, and prior to it. Now, speaking of which, the next part of this video is going to get into the spoilers of it all because we're not going to act like those behind-the-scenes set photos aren't all over Twitter and Instagram right now. If you somehow missed those and you want to dodge them, no worries, now would be the time to back out of the video. So the thing making the rounds in the last 24 hours that so many of you have DM'd me, and I appreciate it, is this armored vehicle. It looks like a tank. It's sand colored, but on the side, there's a red demon looking skull spray painted onto the tank. Now, some people on Reddit mentioned that this looks like the updated version of Punisher's skull when it has horns and when the Punisher takes over the hand, but we're nowhere near that in the storyline right now, and they're still using the sort of updated take on the classic Punisher skull logo as a part of the main storyline with Wilson Fisk and the anti-vigilante task force that may or may not be resolved by the end of Daredevil 2, but where we will leave off with Frank Castle when we pick up with Spider-Man Brand New Day. Very little holdover there. I don't think this has anything to do with Punisher as much as I do want to see him drive a tank in this film. But what this logo most likely is the group The Inner Demons, who in the comics take over right after the fall of Wilson Fisk and work for none other than Mr. Negative, the most heavily rumored villain for this film. So if you had Mr. Negative on your bingo card for like the 10 or 12 villains that have been named for this film, you can go ahead and cross him off your list. He's definitely in this film via this confirmation. Now, also keep in mind, Sony and Marvel ran out a ton of their early merchandise for Spider-Man Brand New Day at a conference very earlier in this year that included a ton of street-level villains like Tarantula and Scorpion. So, Mr. Negative will not be the only villain we will be seeing, but what's most likely the case here is that after Wilson Fisk has been defeated by Daredevil and Punisher at the end of Daredevil Season 2, and I am just assuming that's going to be the case, then there is an enormous power vacuum for criminal organizations like the Sinister Six or the Inner Demons, Mr. Negative, anybody to step up and try to fill that void. Okay, maybe the worst word to use in terms of Marvel because it doesn't apply to the void and it doesn't apply to Sentry, but literally just the metaphorical void, just the void where there is no criminal enterprise like Wilson Fisk running the show. One of them is going to step up to take it, and you can see friendly neighborhood Spider-Man swinging around trying to clean all this up. Now, how Punisher exactly works into this, I don't know. Again, I know a lot of you are going to take to the comments and be like, it's his tank. Yes, I want it to be his tank too. It's not a Punisher logo. Sorry. We're also in like Act 1 here. They're not starting off Spider-Man Brand New Day, Punisher's in the tank, take 1. Also, what I will mention, is we will double back to the video from earlier in the week where we talked about Hulk as a potential villain, as a lot of the industry insiders have said this is a Spider-Man Punisher team-up to try to take down the Hulk, and even some of that early leaked concept art showed us a version of the Savage Hulk. Unfortunately, the wanted poster was not for Professor Hulk. Somebody got a much closer and clearer picture of that. Not Professor Hulk, sorry, we got that wrong here at the channel. However, it was based on industry insider reporting, and still not really sure how Hulk would work his way into a villain in this role. It sounds more like it will be Hulk, Punisher, and Spider-Man, basically teaming up the three of them to take out all these villains, which I am totally for as long as we get a version of the Savage Hulk. I don't care how they have to do it. We've got a really cool 2 years of Marvel movies coming up that could feature things like Hulk versus Wolverine, and now a team up with Spider-Man and Punisher. We want to see the Savage Hulk. I don't know what Marvel's got to do. Hopefully Spider-Man Brand New Day can be the movie where that actually happens and set us up for Doomsday and Secret Wars. Speaking of which, guys, they're going to start filming outside on major sequences, and I've even seen some industry insiders say they can't believe the sequences that they've chose to film are outside like this, where everyone's going to be able to cover them. As you've seen previously with Marvel movies, if something is outside, it's fair game. That's why we had all that behind the scenes set footage of Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, I've already said we are going to cover that kind of stuff at the channel. Again, it's fair game. However, we will not put the actual leaks in the thumbnails. They are always concept versions of that. You will never see my thumbnail and actually see the leak right in it. Well, unless the leak's been out for 2 or 3 weeks and other people are already using it as thumbnails. In that case, I tend to update my videos still. I expect we're going to get a lot of reveals, including a first look at Spider-Man, maybe even some villains, and some big stuff coming here soon, because it doesn't seem like they've locked down the site at all. It's only going to take 1 or 2 drones for a couple of the right sequences to have some of this stuff coming up. So stay tuned here at the channel. Also, quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff. All right. In the next video, we announce a winner for the PS5 for Eyes of Wakanda. We're also doing PS5 drops for whatever drops the rest of this year. So we've got Wonder Man, Marvel Zombies, and I think there might be one other. Either way, if you want to be entered to winner for any future giveaways, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below, because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, live with my voice in the winning comments shown on screen, so please be safe and vigilant on YouTube, really any platform. If you should ever get spam with someone impersonating a content creator, please report them directly to YouTube. They're pretty swift about deleting those accounts. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name is Michael Roman. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. Find me on all other platforms like Spotify, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name All Fires, including the song you're hearing in the background now. And while I would sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.